See, from food stamps to more ice than Gretzky. I don't gotta talk, the Lord defends me. I watch them all fall for calling against me. Happy Thursday, everybody. You are watching She Evolves. This is Nikki. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, and we are about to do everything as she evolves. We're talking about the evolution of a woman because to me, the evolution of a woman is so important. It is such a heavy discussion that we don't talk about. We don't acknowledge one another. We don't support one another. So it's very important to actually um, acknowledge our sisters as she's coming up and just to help her evolve. If you have made it, it is your obligation and your duty to reach back and to help the next sister. So that is what She Evolves is all about. If you are watching, we are streaming live here. We on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you do so. It is Ivy the Code. Don't forget that H. It's Nichole. And there is no E in my first name, just straight up IVY. So today I got my girl, Latrice Cash. So we are going to kind of tease her little, her subject, her book a little bit. And we're going to talk about self-love because I felt like if you're talking self-love and the evolution of a woman, I mean, it goes hand in hand, right?
It sure does. And we got to have self love. If we don't, we're going to have some problems in our lives. And that self esteem needs to be higher. And that's
because you cannot evolve until you get yourself together.
Until you get yourself together. Self esteem, self love, um, work hard for yourself, get that hustle on. You got to do it. It takes a long time. Get your health together too. You got to do it.
Definitely. So we got to get right into this. So for those that don't know who Latrice Cash is,
Who
come
am I?
on. Who are you?
Who
Who
am
are you?
I?
Tell on your business.
Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit of my business. So
Okay.
I'm Chris Cash. That is my real name. And for our social media, um, it is Latrice Cash on Facebook. And on Instagram, it is Cash underscore Latrice underscore original. And on Twitter and on YouTube, I am Cash Cam. And side note, the name Cash Cam came from the late state representative Isaac Robinson because I'm always around with my camera and taking pictures and videos. So I am Latrice Cash, graduate of Michigan State Communications. Um, got two masters, business, healthcare management. None of that means nothing if you don't have your health, you don't have any self-esteem, you don't support yourself, you don't have any support from your inner circle, or you don't know who your inner circle is and who is rooting for you. And you have to root for yourself first. So, done a lot of things. I'm an elected precinct delegate, was at one point one of the vice chairs for the 14th congressional district here in Michigan under Brenda Lawrence, Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence. What else? Political activist, volunteer for a lot of different things. Um, Back in the day, I did Black Notes Minority video production as an undergrad, worked for an environmental agency, worked for the Girl Scouts, did recruitment as an executive, just a whole lot of stuff. Even dabbled in social work like you, Ivy. I've done that, did that for well, some years and don't do that anymore. So right now, uh, the other things about myself, coming to this point has been a process, and it wasn't an easy process. Went through different, like I said, different jobs. Just developing yourself. Got sick for quite a while, several surgeries, and then you have to work your way back up, and it's a come up, and it's a struggle for that come up. And there was a time when the doctor said, "Oh, we're going to have to cut your foot off due to an accident." And bottom line, sepsis, which is a blood infection as a result of this surgery. Um, and then, oh, we're going to amputate. No, you're not. And that in itself was a struggle, but I maintained, went through that, went through physical therapy for 3, 4, 5 weeks, came home, and then it's a wheelchair, a walker, a cane. Now I'm here. And I showed up to many events. Some people remember in a wheelchair and in my walker, and of course with my cane. And so it's been a struggle to get right here where I am today and writing a chapter in Fearless Women Rock. And excuse me. And I want to thank Dr. Missy Johnson for calling me and asking me to join her and some other ladies in this book. And it's been an honor and it's a pleasure. And it's been a beautiful road trip. Having a lot of fun. Love it. And wouldn't trade it for anything, Ivy. Nothing at all. This is the best thing. And people go through struggles in their life, and especially women, especially if you have children and come from a broken home, or you're going through a divorce and all this and trying to juggle work and stuff. I can only imagine how much more difficult life would be if I were in those circumstances. It's still difficult as a single woman, you know, but when you have other people's lives to juggle all along with your struggles in life, it makes it more difficult. So, one, we have to support each other. Two, we have to learn self love and self esteem. We have to set boundaries, and we have to understand what is our purpose in life. What is your purpose in life? And what are your goals? And where do the two intertwine? And when you figure out where they intertwine, then you can go for the gusto and go for your goal and just chase it. And that's the bottom line. You go through these things and then you need to chase your dreams. And I'll just leave it there. What you got to say, Ivy? What you got to say, my girl?
You see it all on my face, huh?
She like, what is all this? I didn't know all this. There's a lot of things that people don't know. It's a whole lot.
Right.
So,
Right. You know, it's okay. So you brought up a couple different
yeah,
points here,
yeah,
as you're talking about, it's a struggle to get from one place to the next, you know, um, as a woman, first of all, and then to be a successful woman at that, because there are so many barriers that come our way, and Black women especially, because I always say all the time, Black women, we are on the bottom of the totem pole.
yes. Oh,
We are always the last to finish,
always.
and to be in the position to where you have to work your way up, but not only just work your way up to the top. What does that look like, without compromising yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth?
Mhm.
Because oftentimes, like we had the conversation yesterday,
Yeah.
it's a lot of shadiness
Oh, what you say?
in
A
the
lot.
in the business,
It's a
and
lot.
to be able to say, you know what, I love myself enough to excel and to progress in life
Right.
without compromising me, without
Me.
selling my soul to the devil. Let's be real. And,
Did
just
we
be
talk
a woman
about
of God. Like,
yes.
what does that look like? How is the struggle? Because it's hard. It's
It
easy
is.
to say that you could just, you could go the easy route and have that hookup and have that handout, but that hookup and that handout, it comes with a cost at the end of the
It
day.
does. It does. And when you hold your hand out, and as you were saying, basically, as a woman, it's a struggle because it's always men that dishonor Black women first. And that
Mhm.
is the biggest problem. Men dishonor Black women first. And so when you put your hand out, there's always a high expectation from those men who try to exploit Black women that they usually want something sexual.
Mhm.
And so then becomes it's a balancing act. Do you want to give them something sexual, knowing especially that you don't like them and what you have to do? Uh, I opt for no, and usually have. Um, and it's a balancing act, especially like I said, if you are a woman and you have children and stuff. What do you do? If you have no support system and you have nobody that is wise enough to bounce off ideas and conversation, and you don't have this support system from other Black women to say, hey, we're going to help you with your kids. Hey, we're going to help you when you're off work. Hey, we're going to help you carpool if we all need to go to work and somebody's car is down. It's a whole lot of things that need to be addressed. And then when you're in a situation and there's only one person that you know is going to help you, and you know that they're going to try and exploit you, do you want to be exploited? Can you handle being exploited? Do you want to go to that level? Do you have to? Is it an emergency? Is it morally right? Can you live with that decision for the rest of your life? And that's what we come against. And those are a lot of questions that need to be answered and asked upon ourselves. So I'm gonna put that question out there. I have the answer for myself, but do other women have the answer for themselves? And that's one thing that my chapter addresses is self-love. Those questions are not in the book. You have to get the book to really know what I'm referring to, because it's a lot. It's a lot about self-love, and it's not anything that you would hear in the average self-help book. It's not a self-help book, and it's not a self-help chapter. And again, my chapter is self-love, the hardest thing I had to do. The hardest thing I had to do. And there's a point or a section or a piece in the book, in my chapter, that says, living with your thoughts can be terrifying. So we can just imagine what that is. Everybody's thoughts are different, and everybody has different demons and different struggles. So when you're stuck in a room by yourself, dealing with an illness, some physical challenge, financial challenge, you're stuck to think. And what are you thinking about? And what is your solution? How can we get my sister through this?
Because the idle mind is the devil's workshop, right?
Idle mind is the devil's workshop. And that's when communication comes in, because when you're at that point, who do you call to talk to about it? And will anybody listen and coach you through it? And if you don't have that support system of someone just to talk to and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking, this is what's going on, this is how I feel, then you got this box that's empty, that's not being tended to. So what else is going to crawl into the box? And what's going to flow out of it? Idle minds. And there's a lot that can happen with an idle mind and a stressed mind. And it also affects your health. And so there's a lot of things that need to be addressed. And this book and this chapter, Self-Love, and the book Fearless Woman Rocks, my chapter is the beginning of that conversation that needs to be continued. Hopefully you and I can keep this conversation going on different episodes of yours, because we got a lot to talk about. And
because we always talking anyway. But I have a question for you. Like, what does self-love mean? Is self-love considered selfish? Are you considered borderline arrogant if you pour too much into yourself?
Well,
like where is that balance at? Like, is it okay to kind of say it's all about me because I only have me to take care of, and only me is going to have my back at the end of the day? Is that selfish? As a single woman.
I'm thinking,
as
right?
a single woman, right?
Okay,
Because
so you're single, right? You're single.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm single. We don't have any children. So our life experiences are different. And I'm going to give you an answer to that question.
Okay.
It's not. Because as a single woman, it's more important to be selfish and self-love and preserve yourself. And meaning that you have to put a stronghold around yourself and make sure the wrong elements, the wrong thoughts, the wrong language, the wrong people do not get into you and into your inner circle, because you have to protect yourself. And as a single woman in Detroit, I want to add this. Detroit is a unique city. Depending on the
It's a
neighborhoods
beast.
that it's a beast. Excuse me. Depending on the neighborhoods that you live in, um, some neighborhoods more than others see, excuse me, see single women with no children, no husband, no boyfriend. You don't have a lot of people coming in and out of your house. And I'm gonna say it again. They see you as prey. And when I say prey, they want to know, how are you paying your car note, your house, your rent, whatever it is. How are you paying your utilities? How do you dress nice? How do you do your makeup? How are you affording all of this by yourself? And then some criminals, not everybody in Detroit is a criminal. I would say there's 80% of the city is good people. But then you have those people who are the dangerous ones that want to do the home invasion and the rape, kidnapping, carjacking stuff. Those are the ones that see single women as prey. And that's who we have to be careful of coming against and letting into our circle, letting into our life, letting into our home. So, no, it's not selfish. I'm going to live and I'm going to prosper, and I don't want you in around me. And some people do see that as being selfish and seeing that as being stuck up. And if you have to roll by yourself and go and take care of your business and be in your car by yourself so you don't have to be involved in drama, that's what you have to do. And a lot of people don't like that because most people like to be surrounded by groups of people. And strong women, some people call it boss women, intelligent women, educated women, women that are about their business, don't have time for clicks. We have friends, but we can't get up and say, hey, five people, come on, let's ride here, let's ride here, let's ride there every day.
Mhm.
We can't afford to do that because that slows you down and that slows your friends down unless we're going to the same events, unless we're going to the same political events and we go and we talk and we socialize and we network, we get things accomplished, and then we have our conversations. You just can't have everybody around you. It doesn't work. You're not gonna prosper. You're not gonna succeed. You're not gonna get anything done. You can't even wash clothes if you're around a bunch of people all day.
You saying you can't even wash
You can't
clothes?
wash clothes. You can't even wash clothes. Mm-mm.
You
You
know what?
can't
And
even pet your
then
dog. Can't pet your cat. You can't do
you
nothing. Go
can't do
ahead.
nothing. You know,
Not a
but
thing.
I think I think like that's a very unique perspective,
Yeah.
that you bring up
Yeah.
because as you evolve, as I should say, your perspective changes, right? Your
Yeah.
circle changes.
Yes.
Your friends change.
Your friends
I,
change.
I mean, the guys that you once upon a time was interested
Mm-mm.
in, you look at today and be like, "Ooh, don't tell nobody."
No, you be
Right?
like, why? What?
Why? What
What
was
was I
I
thinking? What?
thinking?
She was like,
Right?
I even had a conversation with you for real. Why? I wasted
Mm-mm.
my time.
You
No,
a waste of time.
a waste of air.
Exactly. Valuable time that you can never get back.
Right. And so, speaking on that, Ivy,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that you will agree with me on this. That's one of the advice
Probably.
that we have for all women, especially younger women. If a person is not, you'll know they're not worth your time based on their
Mm-hmm.
conversation and their goals. And that's the bottom line. And whatever your standpoint is on God and religion in your life, if they're not at that same level with you at that point in time, leave them alone. They're wasting your time. They're wasting your time. And you're wasting your time when you choose to continue to talk to them and interact with them. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It's not. It is not going to go anywhere.
No.
And then like let's be honest, because by the end of the friendship, relationship,
Mm-hmm.
situationship, you're
Mm-hmm.
pissed. You're pissed that you're exhausted all of this energy, into something that you will never get back.
You won't get back. How long does it take you to get pissed? I would say it takes me about 6 weeks to 2 months.
It don't take me that long.
Okay.
I be over stuff real quick. Like,
Look, look,
I be over stuff real quick.
real quick.
Like I can be in my feelings for a little bit, but then I'm just like, all right, that's your shoulders off, and it's time to bounce back. Because as a woman, as a strong woman, you know, and as your chapter reveals, a
Yeah,
fearless woman, you have to have faith in
yeah,
yourself. You have
yeah.
to have faith in God. Like that's very important. You have to
Mhm.
trust that God is going to do what it is
Yes,
that he's going to do. And sometimes you have to fall back and allow him to lead, because if you don't, everything that you want or whatever it is that you
Mhm.
think you want is
Yeah,
not for you.
yes.
And when things happen in your life and you just like, well, why did this person stop calling me? Why is this person not talking to me anymore? Why did this person break up with me? Everything is for a reason.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Bottom line, that right there, let it be.
That period.
Because, you know, everybody went through that at some point, when they're younger.
Yeah.
You be like, why? And you want to call, you want to.
Act a fool. I think she's paused, y'all. So let's see. Again, like it's very important to trust your intuition, your instincts in whatever situation is, because you're gonna have that sixth sense, and your gut is going to tell you what it is that you need to know, where it is that you need to be. Always trust your instinct. It's the most important and valuable thing that I can say as it pertains to just evolving and becoming the woman that you should be and want to be in life. Because oftentimes I always say that it's three different parts of you, right? You have who you are, who you want to be, who the world sees you as, and what is the next one? And who it is that you truly, truly want to be. That is the most important thing that we have to be able to recognize and realize that we are a vessel here on earth, and we are all designed for a purpose. We're all supposed to evolve. Man, woman, just humans itself is supposed to be able to evolve and to go from one phase of life to the next. Because if we don't, we're stagnant, and being stagnant is not a good thing. You oftentimes want to make sure that today is better than yesterday. And you have to make sure and you have to plan that tomorrow is going to be better than today. Because at the end of the day, you only have you to really take care of and to really worry about. I'm not sure exactly where Latrice went. She needs to chime back in so we can continue just talking about what it means to be a fearless woman and to take care of yourself, to make sure that you truly evolve, what that looks like, um, just all of the above. I can't stress it enough, as to what that looks like. Self care, taking yourself out on a date, spending time with yourself, is very important. Um, she's calling. Um, so again, I don't even know where to like really begin with what it looks like, how that journey looks. I think it becomes a point to where you get tired. You get tired of getting played. You are tired of being mistreated. And that's very important to be able to say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm done. It's all about me, regardless of the situation, regardless of what other people may think of me. It's very, very important to just continue, your journey, whether you're alone, because once you get in the company of others, you want to make sure that you're strong enough, because if you're not, you will break and other people will break you. So let's see where Cash is. She is calling, so maybe we could just have the phone conversation. I hope you guys can hear her. If I sign back in, let's see. So maybe not. Maybe we just gotta have to kind of freestyle just a little bit. And so hold on, guys. We are gonna do something a little different. Okay. Hello? Okay, so you're on and we are on. I don't know. Can you sign back in?
I'm trying to see you later. I don't know what happened.
Okay, well, we're live. We're still live. Okay. You're on speakerphone, so we can just continue the conversation.
All right.
Okay, so
where were we?
So I was saying that, it's very important to make sure that you become whole within yourself.
Yes.
And that is the most important thing, to just make sure that, people want to be around you, because you have to want to be around you.
Right. And you have to learn something new every day. And if you don't like who you are, who else is going to like you? And you should always learn something new every day. And if you're learning something new every day, then that means that you're changing, because you're putting that into effect.
Yes. And again, so this is what it means to evolve. So Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I am live. Let me see. I see right in the chat. What's up? Happy Thursday. Just say yes if you can hear Latrice on the phone, because I want to make sure that we continue this conversation.
Yes, I'm here. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm in.
Okay. Are you signing back in? Because I'm trying to improvise this right.
Yeah, I am.
Are you signing in?
And I'm clear this time. I had a bad connection last time.
She has a bad connection, y'all. So
yeah, bad connection. I look better this time. Entering the studio.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. I'm hanging up and I'm bringing you back in.
There I am.
Okay. Hello. There you are. You're back.
Hello. Look.
Okay. My bad, y'all. Technical difficulties. Shit happens. But guess what? We back, and you cannot stop what this is. This conversation will happen one way or another, whether I got to put you on a speakerphone and I don't know, whatever the situation is, we're going to continue this. So everybody, if you are watching, I don't know where you're watching from, but make sure that you follow us. Latrice Cash, you can find her on all social media platforms. She everywhere.
Yes, everywhere.
And
Facebook,
everywhere.
Latrice Cash. There's my name on the screen. Got 2 pages, a public page, a private friends page. And on Instagram, Cash_Latrice_original. Any other pages, that is not me. Instagram and Twitter, I am Cash Cam, 2 M's. And on YouTube, I have a few of my videos, and I will be uploading some more. And keep following me. And my information that I'm teasing you with for Fearless Women Rock Volume 3 and my chapter Self Love. And thank you very much again, Miss Ivy Nicole, for having me on. I appreciate it so much. And you know, you my girl, and I always love talking to you and seeing you. It's always a great conversation.
It's always a great conversation. Again, like I was saying, to always make sure that you understand what your purpose is.
Yes, gotta know.
And finding your purpose, it's not easy. It's not an
No,
overnight
no,
process.
no, it's not. It's not. And for so many reasons, it's not. So when you're younger, you know what you like, you know what you want to do. And then there's always those people that say, oh, you can't make any money with that. You shouldn't do that. That's not a good idea. And then you let that sink into your head and then you follow that. And then you're like, well, what am I going to do? Because this is what I really want to do. And now I'm not going to do it. Guess what? Do both. Do both. Do what's going to help you pay the bills and keep you stable and pursue your dream. That's what you do. So I'm going to give you an example. When I was an undergrad degree in communication, but I took acting classes too, and that helped with public speaking. And so we did short writing, and I had one class that said the professor said, "Oh, you should start writing for soap operas." Nobody nowadays is under like 30 or 20. They definitely don't know what a soap opera is, really. You know, Young and the
Right.
Restless was the best. He said, "You wrote really good stuff, and I needed to start writing for soap operas." And he said, every year go get this particular book. I think it's called The Writer's Market or something like that. I didn't pursue it. I was always, that influence. Oh, you can't do that. You're not gonna make any money that. Why would you quit being a social worker? Why would you quit being on field executive for this agency to go and pursue that? Where am I now? I've done podcasts. You've done your podcast, and you still work. I've written a chapter in this book. Full circle. You're going to go full circle. It doesn't matter which way you do it or how many years pass. It's still going to happen because that's what you wanted to happen. And that was your destiny in life. That's what God meant for you to do. And you have to go through certain experiences to realize that, but you're still here doing what your purpose was. And sometimes you have those life experiences so you can share them and your advice and your information with other people so they can learn. That's pretty much it. What you want to say, Ivy? Because you just nodding your head and you thinking I see the wheels clicking in your head. You want to
You
say
see it, you
I
see
see
it,
it.
you see it, you
It's
see
going
it.
right across
I mean,
your head. Ivy said,
like
come on,
it's
Ivy.
so much to say,
Yes.
but I think, just me personally as a woman, um, I work hard every single day.
Yes.
Every single day to the point where I'm mentally
Right.
exhausted,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a matter of whether I fail or whether I succeed. The point is I'm not gonna give up. And that's the point. You
Yeah.
know, example, last year when I ran for state rep, I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to make a change. I wanted to make a change in my community, in
Mhm.
society,
Mhm.
and to have that voice. That was my thing. That was my passion. There were so many people that
Uh-oh.
didn't back me, didn't believe
Right.
in a platform. Um, I mean, that's a whole other show.
Yeah.
But once my name went on the ballot, I made a promise to
Hmm.
myself to go hard and go into the end.
Right.
And it was a matter of win or lose. If I would have got one vote, which was me, of course, I would have been happy, because
Mhm.
I set a goal, I accomplished that goal, and I didn't fall back or quit because other people thought that it wouldn't be a good idea.
Right. And
It was a win or lose. I still won in my heart.
You did, and that's a
Yeah.
very good point. And people got to understand this. People are afraid of failing, and guess what? What is it? 70% or 80% of new restaurants fail within like the first few years. But you can never take that away from them. They still own the restaurant. They still manage to run a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't use your college degrees or your training for a plumber, whatever, you still earn that. You still have that degree. You still have that certificate. Guess what? You still have that knowledge in your head that somebody sitting next to you doesn't have. Nobody can take that away from you. You still have those life experiences that you can develop and create something new out of. Whether people say, oh, your business is failing right now or it's doing well right now, it doesn't matter because it's still yours and you think whatever you want to think about it and you do whatever you want to do with your business and your podcast and you make it what you want to be. And it can always be bigger and greater, or you can say, I'm just going to sit here on this platter for a moment and I'm going to walk away and do something else. And guess what? It's okay to say, I'm going to put this in my little Christmas present box for a year or 2 years or whatever it is and go and do something else and come back to it. Sometimes you need a mental break from it to regroup and reinvent it. And it's all okay. People reinvent themselves all the time. So why can't you reinvent your personal life and your business? Interesting
Yeah.
thought, isn't it? That's deep, isn't
Okay,
it?
okay. And you know what? I have a couple things
Go ahead.
that I kind of want to add. I don't even know where to begin. So let's talk about failure versus success, right?
Okay.
Are we afraid to fail, or is it sometimes we are afraid to succeed? Because once you actually succeed something and you
Mhm.
become successful, you become known. Now it's all eyes on you, and now it's like, okay, you know what? I gotta really boss up now. I have to really
Mhm.
do everything that I said I was going to do,
Mhm.
and I have to live up to a certain expectation because now
Mhm.
I have made it. Now I have succeeded. Now I
Mhm.
have accomplished this goal, and oftentimes, just that change
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
adapting to something new can be stressful alone.
It is.
Whereas, you know what, if you fail and you say, you know what, no, I'm not even going to touch that, I'm not even going to do that, it's almost sometimes maybe a little easier because you're comfortable in your situation and you're comfortable doing whatever it is that you're doing. Because if you fail, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. I just continue to do what I'm doing, and it's no big deal. But if I succeed at something, now this is a whole new set of expectations. Now I have to relearn some things. Now I have to readapt.
Mhm. You want me to answer that? You want me to
Yeah.
answer it? Okay, so
Yep.
you have a choice to fail or succeed.
Hmm.
And that decision is solely upon you. If you want to succeed and you're having trouble with the plan that you have in place right now, this is what you have to do. Be creative and rework your plan. Be creative and rework your plan. So, uh, I'm going to give you an example. And this may or may not be a little off subject, but this has to do, hopefully, with self love and my chapter in Fearless Woman Right. And I'm going to throw this out here.
Hmm.
So, like, I think I mentioned this to you in private conversations, Ivy, that, I went through all these surgeries and all this other stuff. And there was a time when I couldn't stand or walk well, wheelchair, walker, cane. So you ran for office. How am I going to run for office and I'm in a wheelchair and then graduated for a cane and can't stand or walk for long? What do? Guess what? Instead of standing at a store and passing out flyers and asking for signatures, you pull up a chair and a table and you do it. See, a lot of people wouldn't think about that. Go get you a scooter, and I don't know what they call it, the little hand scooters, whatever, Segway or whatever. And you go around the park and you talk to people because you can't stand and walk all day, but you can chill out on that Segway and then go have a seat. That's about being creative. If
Mhm.
you want to get it done, you can get it done. You just have to figure out how you're going to get it done. It's not going to be the average way or the typical way that most people would do it. You have to think out of the box. And to be successful, you're going to think out of the box. And people like to time success. So, like, you ran for office, and people, I'm sure, had the expectation, oh, she's not going to win. And now she's not going to do anything, right?
Mhm.
But still, Ivy's right here doing her human trafficking thing and her podcast and her StreamYard and her full time job. You still doing it. You're not doing it in what people expected you to do because people's expectations are not your life, and that's not the road that God has given to you. See what I'm
Mhm.
saying? God has a road for everyone to travel, and just follow your road. And what I learned is with that, don't try and make anything happen. Just be open to all of your options. And you know what I'm talking about. If somebody calls you or sends you an email or text message and says, hey, show up here, just go. You never
Mhm.
know what's going to happen when you get there. You don't know who you're going to meet or what opportunities are there. Just go. Okay. And I said this to people in one of my videos for a show I have coming up called uh, Recharge Your Business with Latrice. And it's going to be on different platforms, Fire, Amazon, Roku, and all that. And that's the bottom line. We have women like yourself, older, younger, different races, it doesn't matter. And we're talking about recharging your business. And like you started this StreamYard during the pandemic. You know, we're still in the pandemic. How did you get there? What's the advice that we have for other people? And this is similar, what you're doing today is similar to what I talk about. And people have expectations for Ivy all the time. But guess what? Their expectations may not be right all the time. What they think that
Mhm.
Ivy should be doing usually is not correct because they don't know Ivy. I know Ivy, right? They think that Ivy is a certain way. No, that's not necessarily Ivy. And that's, you know what I'm talking about. And that's not necessarily
Mhm.
either, because we've had conversations and you sat in on some conversations and and it's amazing how people put you in a box. And to love
Mhm.
yourself and to self love yourself and to be a fearless woman, you cannot allow anyone to put you in a box. You yourself cannot put yourself in a box. You have to recognize this is your name, this is where you live. If you don't want to stay here, you don't always have to stay here. If you want to fly to the moon or travel to the moon or sail on the ocean, you can do it. You have to figure out your creative way how to get there. And that's about self love, using your brain, using your resources, using the advice and the information that's been given to you all of your life. All that free advice and free information is going to come together and it's going to roll up into a ball. And then somebody's going to remind you and say, hey, God gave you this platter.
Mhm.
God
Now,
gave
what
you
you gonna do with it?
this big old ball of information and you're not using it. And then one day the light bulb's going to go off and you be like, oh, yeah, I got this right here all the time. Then you take it. Then you
Yeah.
learn and you see what I'm saying? Then you learn and you self loving yourself because you got to do all of that because nobody else is going to love you the way you love yourself. At any moment, at any time of day, there's always going to be someone that's going to look at you crazy or say something ridiculous to try and bring your self esteem down. Example, I had a client, well, a few clients, and they would say, Miss Cash, you so crazy. And they were serious. You are crazy. My response is, thank you very much for the compliment because you recognize something that other people won't even say. I didn't know you thought I was crazy, but guess what? Thank you because that
Mhm.
means a whole lot for a whole lot of reasons. And so then they're confused. Why are you confused? You gave me a compliment and I accepted it. But they meant it for an insult. So when you insult someone and they take it as a compliment, how do they come back? Can they come back, Ivy, with another insult to hurt your feelings?
No.
Exactly.
And you know what? It's funny. I've spoken it before, and I'll speak on it again. How I ended up here at
Yeah,
this precise moment.
yeah,
You know, um, as you stated, it's very important to live in your truth and to
yes,
do what God tell you to do,
yes,
right?
yes,
Um, and not let anything or anybody stop you.
right.
So about a month ago, this, was attempted to be stopped. With the
What?
situation that happened, it was attempted to be stopped with the situation, that
Okay.
happened at WJZZ.
Oh yeah,
Um, you
yes.
know, for those who don't know, you can go back to my first broadcast and you can get all of the tea on that.
That was
All of
your
it
first,
is
that was your
social
first
media.
that was your first broadcast. That
Yeah,
was a
because the first one I did with She Evolves on YouTube, I did address the stand with Black women. And it was a matter of, I wanted to be in radio. I wanted to not entertain the public, but I wanted to drop knowledge. And I
Mhm,
wanted to offer resources, and I wanted to
mhm,
have those uncomfortable situations, those
mhm.
uncomfortable conversations. I'm sorry. But again, when you're doing the work of God, the devil will come in and try to shut you down. Had I been talking some bull crap or celebrity gossip or anything
Yes,
like that, none of this probably wouldn't have ever happened, to
none
be
of
honest.
it.
None of it,
None.
but because I'm trying to uplift my community, I'm trying to uplift women.
Mhm.
Of course, the devil don't like that.
Right.
So, in intercession, a whole crazy situation happened, and I had to end up leaving WJCZ,
JZZ.
as
Yeah,
a result of it,
yeah,
right?
right.
And I was in my feelings. I cried. I was just like, "Why is this happening?" But
Mhm.
in a matter of days, it was almost as if like,
The
you know,
door.
dust your shoulders off, get out your
Yeah,
feelings, and
yeah,
bounce back.
yeah,
Because God gave you an assignment.
yeah,
Do it.
yeah.
Do
And
it. Go
mhm,
hard in what it is that
go
you
hard.
believe in, no matter what, and don't let nobody stop you.
That's right. That's right. And so, Ivy,
And that's why I'm here.
WJZZ, we both had that same experience at WJZZ. And of course,
Hmm.
that's why I left also. And we're going to be very nice and we will never say names, especially publicly. But
I
yes,
say it,
it's
but
your show. Knock yourself out.
but look, we're not talking about that today, though. We try to be nice a little
Yes,
bit.
we're going to
I
be
could
nice.
go.
We're going to be
We try to
nice.
be nice a little
But
bit,
yeah,
but
just for background, I met Ivy. I met you a couple of years ago, but so at any rate, I had my show at WJZZ, the Latrice Cash Show, and so I left after my show with the Essential Transportation Workers, which I think was a great episode, and it went off very well. And I was disappointed that I had to leave, but similar, basically exact same circumstances as you, when you're disrespected and
hmm
made to feel less than when you're bringing viewership and information and making people aware of your station and what you offer and what the station offers, and you're bringing people in to interview and they spread the word, oh, this person is there, why don't you go and interview with them or have a conversation with them. And then this person who works at the station basically sabotages the station and themselves by verbally attacking women who are trying to progress. And at the same time, they're linked with you and your business and trying to progress your business as well. Excuse me, my phone. And so what do? You gotta leave. You have no choice but to leave. That's your only option. You have to go. And, it's been to my benefit, and I'm sure it's been to your benefit, Ivy. I left and I was quiet for a while. And a lot of people were, a couple of people called me and said some not quite nice things, not so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you slipping, you're not doing anything, X, Y, Z. I just said, huh, okay, because what other people say does not matter. Because in the back of my mind, I already knew what I had planned. I just didn't talk to anybody about it. Because once it's in motion, and that's the advice that I have for people that are watching, male, female, regardless of your age. Once you have something in motion, don't tell anybody about it. Because sometimes people will try and sabotage you or backstab you. And when you talk about it too much, you sabotage yourself. And everybody's had a moment, especially when they're younger, they keep saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Don't talk about it at all. Once everything is set in motion and the contracts are signed and it's definite and you're going to be in here and taking your pictures, you wait until somebody else says go that knows better than you. You wait till they say go. Sometimes you have to follow the leader. You feel what I'm saying? And it's okay to follow the leader and take your time. Take your time. So during this pandemic, starting my business, um, of course, I'm interviewing here with you. That's always positive. The book Fearless Woman Rock, the chapter Self Love, the hardest thing I had to do. Being alone with your thoughts can be terrifying. And that we're very, very prickly on touching this right now because that's a whole nother show. Um, the other show that I have, Revise Your Business with Latrice, that's going to be on Roku, Fire, and Amazon. Okay, that's three things right here in the last year, and you have to be hush about it. And it's not to insult people or insult your friends or withdraw from your friends, whatever, but you're tired because you're working on things and you're trying to keep things organized and you're trying to hustle and you still got to go to church and keep that Jesus in you, right? Because you got to keep your mental state correct and you got to keep praising God because that's the only thing that's got me here. Okay, that's the only thing that's got me this far in my life. Okay, that's healed your mind, healed your heart, healed my body. That's gotten me to this point where I can even write and talk about self love. So when I say that, again, it's not uh, like a chapter in a self help book. It's nothing like that. And I encourage people to buy Fearless Woman Rock Volume 3 because it's very satisfying and very gratifying. And it's not just my chapter in the book. We have, I think it's 12 other women in the book, doctors, scientists, somebody who's been, of course, human trafficking and sex trafficking, business owners. It's a lot of different ladies in this book with a lot of different stories of empowerment and overcoming. And they all share their stories, and their stories are very different. And basically, you go from a struggle to an empowering moment, which lead us to this book today. And all you can say is thank God, and it's awesome. That's all I can say. So, Ivy, I want to talk some more. So, what are your expectations for the book? Because right now I'm still doing pre-orders for autograph.
Okay.
You're going to get a copy. I'm giving you a copy.
I can't wait.
You already know that. And then we're going to talk again. Okay. So, what else do you want to ask me?
So when does the book drop?
The book will be out very soon. I would say in a few weeks. Um, and you can follow me on my public Facebook page and on Instagram, and I will keep updates on there. And you can purchase the book autograph copy on my Cash App, $ Latrice Cash, as it is on the screen, and also on PayPal and just Latrice Cash, just PayPal, just put in Fearless Latrice, same spelling, Fearless Latrice, and you'll get to my page and you can order it through PayPal. I do have a Venmo. I'm not sure if any people use Venmo or is it real
I don't
popular?
even know what that is.
Okay. So I have Venmo. Ivy's
I
young.
don't know
She
what that
don't know
is.
what Venmo is. So uh,
Okay.
PayPal, Fearless Latrice. Cash
Okay.
App, $ Latrice Cash. That's good. The name of the book is Fearless Woman Rock. The chapter that I wrote is called Self Love, the hardest thing I had to do. And living alone with your thoughts, being alone with your thoughts can be terrifying. Anything can happen when you spend too much time thinking, and don't break your brain. It's not worth it. Don't break your brain.
Okay. You know what? I have a question.
Go ahead, honey.
Okay, so being alone with your thoughts is
Yes,
the hardest thing,
yes,
right? Was
yes.
it hard for you to write? Was it triggering? What like
Mm,
did some trauma come up and like
um,
during this writing process? Because when you're writing, you become vulnerable and you're putting your emotions on
mm,
paper for the world to see, for the,
Ivy,
for the world to read, rather.
ooh,
How
you know what?
how do you feel about that? Or
I,
how did you feel about writing? And now that once this is published, it this is it.
this is it. And you
This is
know
it,
what?
and you
And
can't take it back.
can't take it back. And you know, Ivy, um, it was a process. It was a
Hmm.
process. Um, I cried when I wrote this chapter. I talked to Dr. Missy Johnson several times about what
Hmm.
I was going to write about. And then I thought about it for weeks and did not write one word. And we
Okay.
talked, and in betweens, I would write down notes while we spoke. I did not write my chapter until the night before it was due, literally. And I cried all night when I wrote it because um, you remember things that you had not really thought about or processed. And I said, well, this needs to go in there because I'm sure that there are people who can't relate to what I wrote about self love. And yeah, I cried just flat out. And I realized how thankful I am for a lot of things in my life. But yeah, and yeah, it was emotional. Um, I'm glad I wrote it. You're just now making me realize that this is not just public, but anybody in the world could read it. And I'm just like, oh God, what did I do? But it's here, can't take it back. I'm proud of what I wrote. Um, can't take it back, and I will not take it back because it's therapeutic for me, and I think it'll be therapeutic and helpful for other people and eye opening. And when I say that, this Fearless Woman Rock, my chapter Self Love, is geared towards women because the book is all female authors, all women authors. But I think that this book contributes to anyone, regardless of age or sex or nationality. I think everyone can gain a lot from this book and from the chapters in it because it applies to a lot of different circumstances in life. But mainly, you're a woman, you've probably been through this situation too, or you know someone who's experienced this or is about to experience this. This is how it comes out. And for a lot of people, if you focus, like you were talking about earlier, focusing and changes in God in your life, it gets better. There was an older man I worked with. He would always say it gets better and better every day, and it really does. Sometimes it gets better and better over the weeks or over the years, but it truly does get better and better.
Wow.
Hmm.
So we are actually gonna wrap up, and then when we hop off, we are gonna schedule for part two.
Oh, we're okay. I'm ready, part two, and we need it. Uh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
we're gonna get ready. We're gonna get ready for part two.
Part two. Yeah.
Um, because it's time to really dig into your emotions and
Hmm.
be honest with your feelings with yourself.
Yes. And learn
The
what
most important thing.
Yes, and learn what you like and don't like. And I know we're almost out of time. And thank you very much, Ivy, for having me, Latrice Cash, on Facebook, Cash underscore Latrice underscore original on Instagram. Hit me up. Somewhere on there, you'll find my WhatsApp if you want to contact me. Thank you, Ivy, for having me. Part two coming up. Thank you, sweetheart.
Yes, so everyone make sure that you like this, you share this, you share this, you share this,
Share.
uh, share,
Like,
uh, like, all of the above. Make sure you hit up Latrice for her book because now she got me real interested because
oh, yeah,
like okay,
yeah.
because I know to like put all of your feelings out there. And
Yes,
of
you know.
course, we as women, we don't always express our vulnerability.
Right.
Um, we always just like, we good. I'm
Mhm.
good. I'm good.
And
I'm
you're
walking
not
with it. I'm
always
good.
good. And you're not always good. And we have to learn to say
Majority of
no.
the time, we ain't good.
Yeah, we
Let me
have
be
to learn
real.
to say,
Majority, we ain't
yeah.
good.
We have to learn to say, no, I'm not good right now. And I'm
Yeah.
good for this really bad. Make it quick why I'm not good. We have to learn to be more succinct on how we feel and how we verbalize it. Because men, they don't listen. You done lost them after about 5 words, okay? We just gonna keep that real. But you know what I mean. We listen though. But yeah, we have to be more honest with ourselves. And so we can succeed, so we can move to that next level. Fearless Woman Rock Volume 3. Self-love. Latrice Cash.
All right, y'all, we are out and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, Ivy, IBY, Nicole, NICHOLE. Do not forget that H. Because if you forget that H, you're going to be following somebody else and it ain't going to be me. I don't
That's
even know who
another.
that is, but it
That's
ain't going to be me. So make sure that you follow me on social media. It's straight across the board. It's all the same. Ivy Nicole on Facebook. Ivy
mhm,
Nicole N on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know,
mhm.
maybe hopefully one day we'll be able to go Instagram live, but not today.
Not
Uh,
today. It's been a long
not,
conversation. We've been here for an
not
hour.
today.
But
Right.
yeah, we can do
Not
it.
today.
Yeah, we can do Instagram one day soon. And if you want, we can do it on mine or do it both or however that works. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
We can do that, but we are going to keep this conversation going
Yes,
as it
ma'am.
pertains to self love, evolving, and being honest with yourself and your emotions. Because
Yeah.
you can tell the world that you're good, but you bet not tell you that you're good if you're not.
Say that
And
one
that's
more
a
time.
fact.
Tell yourself you
You can
always
tell the world that you're good, but you bet not tell you that you're
that you're
good
good. When you're not.
when
When
you're
you're not.
not.
Mhm.
No, don't do it. That's a
Yeah.
non-negotiable.
Yeah. Be honest
Own
with
up to your
yourself.
own. Be honest with your
Be
feelings,
honest
your
with yourself.
vulnerability, and
Yes.
your emotions.
Yes. You have.
So,
That's the only way you're going to advance to the next level. You got to be honest with yourself. You don't have to tell anybody else anything if you don't want to. Just be honest with yourself. And if you need to talk to someone, talk to someone. You can always talk to Ivy.
you could always talk to Cash.
You can always talk to Cash. You already know. Catch us on social media. We're here. Thank
All
you,
right,
Ivy.
y'all. Thank you, y'all. Thank you for coming. And part two coming soon. Be on the lookout.
I can't
We
wait.
are out.
Bye.